So I have two subjects I would like to speak about this week for Parshas Yisro. The first subject is Yisro. The second subject is the reason that we were chosen, the purpose Hashem chose us, and what we're supposed to be doing. What was the reason we were chosen? Why didn't Hashem choose everyone? Why did He choose only a select group of people, and what their mission is? So, if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe and share it to other people, and help me grow this channel. So now, a lot of times before I start the videos, I have a lot of subject to speak about, but then I have to actually minimize them because I see, oh, how many subjects do I actually know, and that I could really say it over. Then I see like there's not so many subjects actually I know enough to tell it over in a good way, and even what I think I do know that I could tell over, I see usually afterwards that it's not as easy as I think. And what's even worse than that is, when you're recording a video, a lot of times, probably after years of getting used to them, maybe it's not like that. Maybe some people it's more natural that they just that nothing changed. But for me, a lot of times, my brain seems to automatically erase half of what was stored in its mind right before the video. The second I turn on the camera, that's how it is. Anyhow, but I'm not going to focus on that. Let's try getting through Parshat Yisro and what lessons we could learn from it. So the Torah starts out and says, "Vayishma Yisro kohen Midian es kol asher asa," everything that Hashem did, Elokim leMoshe uLYisrael haMoed, everything that God did to Moshe and Yisrael, his nation. So Yisro, he was a priest of Midian, and he heard everything that Hashem did to Moshe and Israel, his nation, Ki yotzi Adonai Yisrael miMitzrayim, because he took them out of Egypt. So there is a machlokas between the Ramban, Rashi, and the Ramban of the timing over here, and we have this concept that ein mukdam u'muchar b'Torah, which means sometimes things that will really happen later will be mentioned earlier, or the opposite. Well, if everyone agrees there's going to have to be a reason. If it's not mentioned in its timeline, why is it mentioned in a different timeline? But the Ramban says that it doesn't make sense unless you have to say that it was a different timeline. So we're going to go based on the Ramban, simple pshat, that this happened before Matan Torah. Yisro heard right after they came out of Egypt, last week's Parsha, the split before them and all of that. Yisro heard everything that Hashem did to Moshe and Yisrael, his nation, everything that God did to Moshe and Yisrael's nation, because Hashem took Bnei Israel out of Egypt. You see, that's the focus over here, not Matan Torah, which we hear say all the nations heard and trembled. So he brought Paro, Moshe's wife, and Moshe's two children, Gershom and Eliezer, and he came to Moshe, and he told him that he's going to him, and Moshe came out and greeted him, and they kiss each other, bow down to each other, and Moshe told over to Yisro everything that happened, all the praises of Hashem. So what do we see special about Yisro over here is that, well, I mean, just in general, think of it, not so many people realize the times that they're in. They don't realize the greatness of their time. And Yisro recognized the greatness, and many people sometimes will recognize the greatness, but they won't do anything about it. They'll be like, oh, okay, interesting thing happened right now. But they won't realize what's really happening. They won't realize the greatness or enough to actually take action. But Yisro took action. Now, of course, you could say he was also Moshe's father-in-law and all of that, but remember, he was a priest of Midian. It wasn't like he had a terrible life beforehand. But he realized the truth, and he saw the truth when he heard it, and he came to see it for himself, and he came to experience and to get close to Hashem. Like the Chachamim say, he became a ger. And in fact, that he actually went on with Bnei Israel to Eretz Yisrael. And the only reason he went back was to convert his family. Like we'll see because later on in the Torah we see that Moshe asked Yisro to go. Yisro says no, but then Moshe pleads with him, and Yisro doesn't deny it. So it seems like he went on. Anyhow, so Yisro, when he hears all the good, and again, Moshe told them everything Hashem did to Paro and to Egypt, and all the hardships that happened to them on the way. So, what are these hardships? These are like when they're running away from Paro and the splitting of the sea and all of that, and then they didn't have water, and how Hashem made the water from bitter to sweet, and how Hashem brought for them manna and all of that. That's what That's what the hardships that happened to them on the road. It doesn't say, and Moshe told them about the giving of the Torah. Hashem chose them and gave them the Torah and all of that. It doesn't say that. Because simple pshat is before Matan Torah. But what we see over here is the greatness of Yisro, and we are commanded all the time to protect Yisro's descendants and all of that. We see Shaul did that when he went to fight with Amalek, and we said a few times that Yisro's family lived amongst Bnei Israel because they decided to connect themselves to Hashem, even though they had a place to live and all of that. Yisro decided to come, and when he realized the truth, he came and wanted to be with the nation that had the truth with them. So that was what was special about Yisro. So Yisro said, Baruch Hashem, he blessed Hashem. He said, blessed is Hashem. Asher Hitzi Eschem Miyad Mitzrayim, that he saved you from the hands of Egypt and from the hands of Paro, that he saved you from under the hands of Egypt. Atayadati, now I know Ki Gadol Adonai Mikol Elohim, that Hashem is greater, bigger than all other gods. Ki Badavar Asher Zadu Alehem. So the Malbim says over here that Yisro recognized from Yetzias Mitzrayim something amazing. So many nations knew that there's the ultimate first cause of creation. Everyone knew, but everyone thought this ultimate thing, he was the thing that brought all the power. He triggered the creation, first cause of creation and everything, but he's too high up. He's how do you call it? Mehulal. He's praiseworthy, but he's not Baruch. And I'll explain what that means in a minute. But anyhow, we have no connection to him. And therefore, what do we connect to? We connect to all the gods of nature and the god of wind, the god of every power, the god of evil, the god of this, the god. That's how we connect. And then they connect, or I don't even know if they connect straight to God or not. But whatever the case is, we have no connection with God, but we connect to these gods that are under the ultimate God. Because the ultimate God has nothing to do with us. He created this world, or was the first cause of creation. That's what all these different nations held, and therefore they created all these gods, and that was their God. Their God, they didn't serve the great God, because you couldn't serve the great God in their opinion, the ultimate, the first cause. You served all these other gods that we mentioned, everyone. And Yisro realized that this ultimate God and first cause of creation and everything, source of life, he's not only mehulal, he's not only praiseworthy, but he's Baruch, meaning he has a connection with the world, and therefore you could serve him. And not only that, like we're going to see, we have a commandment to only serve him and no one else. And it's going to be the first command. That first commandment is going to be, I am Hashem your God. The second of the 10 commandments is going to be, you should have no other God. So that is what Baruch means. Meaning, Baruch means someone who could provide abundance, provide shefa. And Hashem provides shefa. He has a connection with the world. He gives good. He's always giving. And it's not like there's no connection. And that's what we see from Yetzias Mitzrayim, that Hashem saved Bnei Israel and everything he did. And now I know that Hashem is Gadol, greater. Now, I didn't say Ram. Ram means high. Now, Hashem is also called Ram, but Ram means high, uplifted. It's also a way of saying that you're distant from him. But Hashem is Gadol, meaning he's also Ram, because he's great and big. He's also uplifted, but he's Gadol and great in a way that he has a connection with us. That's what the Malbim says. I think this is very important to understand the difference between Avodah Zarah and the way we understood Hashem. All idolaters, or the majority of them at least, believe that there is an ultimate God. But because they felt that there's no access to him, he became less the focus, and it wasn't important to them even at all. Like, they didn't even speak about him. But we understand, only serve that Hashem, the ultimate cause, because we know he's the real power. He destroys any other powers, and you could use them for whatever he wants. Now Yisro continued and said, now I know that Hashem is greater than all other gods. The Ramban explains that in the thing that they did purposely, zadu, about the thing that, why were the Egyptians punished? Because they were zad. They purposely did more than what they were supposed to. They were supposed to, and this is going in the Ramban's opinion, we learned it earlier on, that they would have been okay if they just afflicted them like Hashem told Avram would happen, that they would afflict them, but they they were much worse. They made them work without any rest, and they killed their babies and so on. They afflicted them terribly, and much more than what they needed to and what they were supposed to. And therefore Hashem judged them, and that's what Yisro is praising Hashem for, because they did unjustly. They unjustly afflicted them and killed their children and all of that, and all the evils that Egypt did. So therefore Hashem judged them. So he brought Zvachim and Olas to Hashem. He brought sacrifices. And it was the next day, and Moshe sat down to judge the nation, and the nation stood upon Moshe from the morning till the evening. So Vayar Moshe Moshe, the father-in-law of Moshe, saw this. Yisro saw this, and he told Moshe, and he said, "Why are you sitting by yourself, and all the nation is standing from you from morning till evening?" Now, Yisro had a complaint about both of them. You are sitting by yourself; no one is helping you, and all of them are standing from morning till evening, because you're going to be finished, and the nation are going to be finished, and some of them aren't going to go to get judged at all, and therefore they're going to just be willing to accept whatever bad things happening to them without going to court, because they know, it's going to take a whole day till we get answer to our problem. And so anyhow, Moshe gave him advice and told him, you should be between Bnei Yisrael to Hashem, meaning you ask Hashem for their needs and help them and tell them, they want to ask questions about where I lost something, where is it, or about the future, or what to do, and certain advice perhaps, then that's Moshe's job, to advise the people. And then the difference is that in judgment he should appoint judges, and that's what Moshe did. And he listened to Yisro, and to make it to lift the burden from him and from the rest of the nation. And Yisro listened to everything he said. Now Yisro said, and if Hashem commands you, so we see that Hashem agreed with Yisro, and we see over here the greatness of someone who decided to connect himself to the truth, and how at the end of the day he became the advisor to Moshe Rabbeinu, and his advice was accepted. So and now right after this it talks about Bnei Yisrael camping out in Midbar Sinai, and the third month from Bnei Yisrael coming out of Egypt. Bayama Hazeb Bo Midbar Sinai, they came to the desert of Sinai. They drove from Rephidim, Vayavo Midbar Sinai, Vayachanut Bamidbar, and they camped in the desert by the mountain. Moshe went up to the mountain, and Hashem tells him, you know everything that I did to Egypt. I picked you up on eagle's wings, and I brought you to me. Now, if you listen to my voice and you keep my command, my covenant, you'll be for me a treasure from all nations, because for me is all the land. So, first of all, let's go back a little bit. In the redemption from Egypt, Hashem commanded Moshe to tell Paro, Beni Bechari Yisrael, my son, my firstborn Israel. What is the job of the firstborn? The job of the firstborn is to pass over what he learned from his father, to keep on the father's traditions and all that. That's the firstborn. Primarily, it's his job to keep that. And this is basically the Bnei Yisrael's job, to pass over what Hashem, the message that Hashem wants to be passed over to the world. Which means that at the end of the day, actually Hashem is manifesting in Bnei Yisrael in a certain sense, and therefore the Shechina, therefore the Beis HaMikdash has to be in Bnei Yisrael, because we are representing Hashem's idea, Hashem's vision, how Hashem wants things to be, and therefore because we're representing that, Hashem is, in a sense, amongst us wherever we go, even even when we're in exile or whatever the case is. So then Hashem is representing. We're representing Hashem, and therefore Hashem is with us. And especially in times when we're Be'ezrat Hashem back in Geula, which Be'ezrat Hashem will be very soon, the way it's going, and the Beis HaMikdash will return, and the Shechina, and we'll bring Korbanos and all of that. But anyhow, so you will be for me a treasure from all nations. You'll be you'll be for me a nation of a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. That was what Hashem wanted from a nation. You'll be a kingdom of priests which teach the Torah, teach your Hashem's vision, Hashem's message to all the world. That's what it means, a kingdom of priests. And a holy nation, separated, what it means holy is separated for Hashem, which means that basically special things will happen to us, and Hashem will have a special hashgacha for us. The Eretz Yisrael itself, Hashem has a special hashgacha. It's a complete separation between Bnei Yisrael and the other nations in what they're in level, meaning in their destiny. Not really, because everyone's going to have part in the destiny of Bnei Yisrael, but they're going to have the high goal in the destiny. And so this is what Hashem told Moshe to tell Bnei Yisrael. Now in Yeshaya we see that Or l'goyim nesaticha, I made you, Bnei Yisrael, a light to the nations. What is the job of a light? To show someone the way when it's dark. That's the job of Bnei Yisrael. To be a beacon, a light high up in the sky for everyone to come to, and to show people in the dark where to go. We're supposed to show the world the truth. And it's true every time and all the time. It's in messaging, but it's not only that. It's just, I think history itself and nature itself slowly through the time is going to show it, and the existence of Bnei Yisrael and all of that, not the fact that they existed, but just how everything is manifesting and working out. It's going to show the truth that Bnei Yisrael are holding within them, because they're holding Hashem amongst them, meaning they have the Shekhinah amongst them. And the truth that they're holding is going to show even without the message. But of course, we have to give this message across in words. That's the way we interpret it. But anyhow, now, not any way do I want to say that Hashem, like physically, is amongst us and all of that. I'm just trying to explain it in a certain way to understand. Of course, the Shekhinah is amongst us. Hashem is resting in Bnei Yisrael, and when the Beis Hamikdash when the Beis Hamikdash comes back, it's going to be on a higher level and a great level, and where everyone will be able to see it, and that's what we're hoping for, Be'ezrat Hashem. Again, if you enjoy these videos, please like and subscribe. I hope I explained these things well enough. I don't know if I did or not, but if you have a question, please comment. If you don't have a question, just want to say something, comment and share to other people. Let them know about this channel, and please like and subscribe. And yeah, that's about it. Have a good day.